welcome back. Okay, so we're down to our last two. So I did want to show you something, the difference between a big one and a smaller one. So the big ones, let's make sure this is a nice one. So the big ones, you can cut differently than the smaller ones. Do that. Because you got a lot more space to use, so you want to cut them a little closer. So you get your knife cut so they're nice and kind of close. Here, I'll show you. It's like that. You want to kind of keep them nice and close together. Because again, you have a lot more area. Whereas the smaller ones are going to be easier to cut and they break down a little bit easier just because they're small. But the big ones, you want to make sure that you cut them down so that you don't, it'll make it easier when everything starts to cook. Alright. Oh, I didn't actually hit pause on all this one. Now, like I said, we're going to have a smaller one. And looks good. Go around and get that pit out. Like I said, it just pops right out usually. Usually. Not everything is the same. But again, this is much smaller. So really you can kind of cut these a little bit wider if you want. Because since it is so small, you kind of want to keep it a bit chunkier so that it cooks down about the same level as all the other fruit. Okay, there we go. So we are done with that. Don't need my paring knife anymore. I will wash this in a little bit. Now what we want to do is we want to take all this wonderful fruit, which is a lot of it. We're going to put it right here in the Instapot. I'm just going to lift stuff up and I'm just going to drop it in there. I just cleaned the counter, so I'm not worried about that falling on the counter. If you have a dirty counter, I would have thrown that away. Again, cleanliness is what we want. It might have gone over 2 pounds. That's okay. Alright, and then we take the rest of it, and I'm just going to use my little ladle here and just ladle that right. Oh. And another one gone. Another one hits the counter. Now I gotta wash my hands. They're a little bit sticky. Because again, what we have in fruit, which is a wonderful thing, is glucose, which is sugar. But it's not that sugar that you actually buy at the store. It's glucose. It's natural sugar. It's the sugar that's good for you. It's really good for the brain. It's good for thinking. And that's what you want. Okay, so now we've got our fruit here in the Instapot. Next up is you want some brown sugar. Brown sugar! And then what you're going to do with the brown sugar is here, actually. I'm going to move this out of the way. We don't have the cutting board anymore. I'm utilize my space a little bit better. We're going to use half a cup of brown sugar. Boom. Then you want to, get it and then kind of flatten it out. I always do it in the bag just so the sugar stays in the bag, but you want it to be nice and flat like that. And we're going to add that, boom, right there to our mix. And that's it. That's all we need for the brown sugar. Oh, I was wrong. I do need the cutting board. And the knife. So, I'm putting this back. So what we're going to need now is a lemon. It's been washed. We're going to cut the lemon in half. And what we want is 2 tablespoons. So I have a tablespoon out ready like this. What we're going to do is we're going to take our juicer, and I'm going to juice this lemon. You just kind of want to roll it around on there, get your palm in there. This is a nice juicy lemon, so it's actually doing quite a bit of good. And get all that juice out of there. And you don't want to stop until you can really tell that you've done everything you can, because you know this lemon is sacrificing itself for your taste buds. And that is a cleaned out lemon. Now let's see how much we yielded from this. What you can do is you take this, we're going to pour it into here. We got one. We want two of these. Let's see. Two. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump the rest of that in there, just like that. And then we still have half a lemon left, which is good. I'm going to set this over here, make sure that what I'm going to do with that lemon is I'm going to put it into a Tupperware container, I'll put it in the fridge, and I can use it for, say, if I want to spritz up some water or something like that. You know, it makes it nice and tangy and juicy and wonderful. Okay, so now we've got everything in there. So what we're going to do is we want to stir it. Get all these things to marry together. All these wonderful, wonderful flavors. Like I said, it's just brown sugar, aprims, and a bit of lemon juice. So again, it's half a cup of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Okay, so we've got this all mixed together. Now what you want to do is you want to leave it. You want to leave it, and you want those flavors to set. So we're going to let it set, and then I'll be back with you in a bit. But we want it to set for 10 minutes. So I'll be back in about 10 minutes, and then we'll go from there. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Hey, welcome back, everybody. So now it's set for about 10 minutes. We're going to give it one more stir. Make sure everything's kind of, still married together. It looks good in there. I will switch to my phone after, all of this kind of cooks down so that you can actually see inside to see what's going on. But right now we're just mixing it around. It's pretty self-explanatory. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we need to get the lid. And sometimes it's a pain to put it on. Sometimes it goes right on, but first we got to plug it in. Not going to get very far if you don't plug it in. Alright. And then up here you want to make sure that this part is unsealed. So we're going to seal it, which it is unsealed. Then we're going to do pressure cook. We're going to go hit this button up 6. And it should be started. So now it says that it's on. But what happens is it's going to take longer than 6 minutes. What it's going to do, it's going to start to build up pressure. Once the pressure builds to the point that it needs to, then it will start at 6 minutes. So first it needs to build up the pressure in there, and then it will start, it'll start at 6 minutes. So it might take a little bit longer. I'd say probably closer to about 10 minutes. But then what we'll do is we'll release everything, and I'll give it a look, and then we'll go from my phone from there so I can kind of show you everything that's inside there. All right, well, I'll see you in just a bit. Hey, everybody. Okay, now the fun time for the crock pot. So what we're going to do is we're going to release the valve so that all the steam is going to rise up. So it's fun. It's kind of like an explosion. So here we go. I'm going to release it. 3, 2, 1. There you go. All of that's going to go out. as it goes out, then the pressure releases, so everything's kind of been cooked down at this point. A lot of it's kind of spitting out. Interesting to see, but it's, we gotta kind of let it do its thing. I'm hoping that's a normal setting. And then it'll actually let me know once it's actually complete, and it'll let me know when it's safe to open the lid. You don't want to open it until it actually says that it's safe to open. So we'll just wait at this point until it says, yep, so the valve is down. And we're still waiting to make sure. I want to make sure that it's okay to release everything. I'm sure we are. And there we go. Okay. Now we've got all our goodies in there ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to my phone so I can actually show you what it looks like inside there. And then we're going to go from there. Alright? Alright, sounds good. I'll see you in a bit.